Now we got a few got him in my car, but it's just not a bad thing. Are you okay? I was just kidding about that homeless stuff. You just have that Jesus look about you. But he was Jewish, and what did they do? They grabbed him.
On the stick.
Huh?
Put him on the stick.
That's my joke. Somebody got something original? See, the Germans didn't know he was Jewish. Because if they had, between 1933 and 45, if he was living in Germany, they would have put him into Auschwitz. And they would have been standing outside singing Silent Night. Anyway, I'm too sharp for the crowd, but I'm going to keep on going because it is a 900-hour show. But I'd like to start the night off with Australiana. People want to hear it at all?
Yes.
Quite a few people are. Quite a few, not the Jews don't. The Jews are a tough crowd. I'd much rather this room was full of goyim. Sitting at home last Sunday morning, he made boomerangs. Said he's having a few people round for a party. Said he might cook a burra or two. I said, sounds great. Well, while I'll be there, he said, yeah. And Venky might come. I said to her wife, you want to go, Anna? She said, I'll go. Dingoes. Just Australian words and colloquialisms all stuck together in a relentless sort of fashion.
It's hilarious.
Fucking hilarious. The goy chick next to you, she's pissing herself. We get in the party and about to walk straight out the kitchen to put some booze in the fridge. You wouldn't believe it. There's Boomer's white Warren sitting there trying to play the puss.
Nowhere.
Sorry?
Nowhere near as long.
Sorry?
Nowhere near as long.
I can't understand what you're saying. Is that Arabic or what language? Where are you originally from? Germany?
No.
I know you told me, but I don't believe you. You're living in Heidelberg! Where are you from?
Czech Republic.
Czech Republic, oh. That's a good pretend. What brought you to the show? Because we don't have a lot of Czech Republicans coming to the show. It's not like it's advertised huge in Prague these days. Are you backpacking or something? Does anybody remember Kerry Packer at all? Kerry Packer was a formidable presence on the publishing scene, and now he's a mollusk in Scone, and still his son is fearful of him. And I was with Kerry Packer's pilot, a bloke with no internal organs but a lot of property, several weeks ago. And his pilot said to me, Kerry Packer picked a pilot pretty perfectly. Now, as the Pope said, you remember that Pope, don't you? Do you remember George W. Bush when he said, remember that president? Osama, Obama, Barama, Banana Rama. What makes you laugh? That's the Aussie humour, and I can get off with that stuff, but that's why I'm confined to this fucking hellhole. This is like Abu Ghraib or something. This is the Abu Ghraib for comedians, this place. All afternoon I've been fucking waterboarding. And I'm that Australian that sometimes I will glass myself just when I'm on my own. Sometimes I'll drive my car into a tree. Sometimes I think they should put the P plates on the trees and the crosses on the cars. Sometimes I walk around going, fucking sport, fucking sport, fucking sport, sport. Fucking sport, 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 sport. Has it made an impression on you? Because there's not enough in this country. Sport, fucking sport, sport, Anzac Day sport, sport. Look what I'm giving to this crowd. That's part of being Australian. I love a sun-come bird tweet, and I'll tell you what. I would like to see a new Australian flag with a melanoma on a white background with the words, who gives a rat's ass, because nobody does. If it wasn't... Go to my car. Did you say, I need to pee? Yeah, you can say it normally. You just say, I need to pee, because most people have to. On stage right now. Very sweet. No, she's off to my car, I would assume. Let's get that going. Nice. Are you on your own tonight, or? Yeah, she's got no boyfriend. But it's not you. You're a lonely Juliet. Anyway, you're a lonely Juliet. That was a quick one. Are you enjoying the show so far? You really love it, do you? Great. And is that the boyfriend? It's a husband. And how long have you been together? 9 years. Let's get him. It's enough. But Are you still sort of orally thing, or you are? Yeah. Anyway, but most of the time that wears off after a couple of weeks because he couldn't be bothered looking in there anymore. You know that, you've been married 40 years. Am I going too far? I don't know, but sometimes I'll go a little bit too far with the show because the Chinese writers are saying, doesn't matter, push the envelope. Push it right to the edge, doesn't matter. The crowd can handle that. On the surface, the people go, yeah, what's she doing all that sexual stuff for? Underneath, people go, yeah, I understand. I wish I had something going on somewhere there. Like you probably wish you had another lover somewhere else. Could be me. Have you looked into the Jew thing at all? Anyway, now we've got a few goyim in my car, but it's just not a bad thing. Are you okay? I was just kidding about that homeless stuff. You just have that Jesus look about you. But he was Jewish, and what did they do? They grabbed him.
On the stick.
Huh?
Put him on the stick.
That's my joke. Somebody got something original? See, the Germans didn't know he was Jewish. Because if they had, between 1933 and 45, if he was living in Germany, they would have put him into Auschwitz. And they would have been standing outside singing Silent Night. Anyway, I'm too sharp for the crowd, but I'm going to keep on going because it is a 900-hour show. But I'd like to start the night off with Australiana. Do people want to hear it at all?
Yes.
Quite a few people are. Quite a few, not the Jews don't. The Jews are a tough crowd. I'd much rather this room was full of goyim. Sitting at home last Sunday morning, he made boomerang. Said he's having a few people round for a barbie. Said he might cook a burger or two. I said, sounds great. Well, while I'll be there, he said, yeah. And Becky might come too. As the Pope said. You remember that Pope, don't you? Do you remember George W. Bush when he said, remember that president? Osama, Obama, Barama, Banana? Banana Rama? What makes you laugh? That's the Aussie humour, and I can get off with that stuff, but that's why I'm confined to this fucking hellhole. This is like Abu Ghraib or something. This is the Abu Ghraib for comedians, this place. All afternoon I've been fucking waterboarding. Because there's not enough in this country. Sport! Fucking sport! Sport! Anzac Day sport! Sport! Look what I'm giving to this crowd! Just then, Alice brings into action. Starts to pack billabong. You wouldn't believe it, the bong's broken. I said, Lord, how? Hey, man, somebody shouts, well, a didgeridoo. I said, you're fucking white bastard. What's going on? Something going on over there? What's happening? Are you drinking or something? Yeah, but there hasn't been 1 second in my life where I haven't fucking got pissed. Because that's what it is. You know, when you come to Australia, you've got to get drunk every second of your life. When the white people came here, Jeffrey Robertson and the team, they pulled up at Rikers Island there out in the Pacific, and they said to the local Indigenous people, Julian Assange. Do people know Jeffrey Robertson? Yeah. Does anybody know anything in the crowd? Because last night it was difficult, it was really difficult going, but I thought maybe tonight, because it's almost full Jew, would be an easier thing. What if I just sang? But when the white people said to the Aboriginals, look, you see what's happened here is the whole thing has become indisposable. Would you mind standing over that? And the Aboriginal people said, fuck off, you white cunts! And immediately, the Aboriginal people got pissed off and they gave us alcohol, gambling and domestic violence. And if you look at this check backpacker, you can see the damage that's been done to him in 25 years. The guy had a brain when he arrived here. All he does, migrants from the Czech Republic and the Jews and the Greeks and the Italians and whatever, all the Australians would still be giving their kids a football at the end of their lives. Yeah, just go to the bar and fucking football there, the fucking because the Chinese say to their kids, work hard all the time. You'll get 99 in the mathematics, I kill you. Work hard, build a new life for yourself. Buy home unit. It's true, isn't it? You've probably got 30 or 40 properties. While your Aussie mate's on the beach scratching his balls. Bark and sport. The Lebanese are saying, the Greeks are saying, everybody's buying home units, and the Aussies are scratching their balls. Or they're down at the Thai massage. It's a hot work up on there. And I was with Lang Hancock's new wife, Rose Hancock, only 2 or 3 days after she killed the husband. And she said, Lang was in the back room in a coma. I grab a pillow, I go in there quiet as a mouse, push hard down on Lang's face. I say, you misogynistic, male order bride. Where is the cat? Single Jew,
Yep.
Caravan Park in Elwood.
That's it.
So the wife's gone. Too much hucking, you couldn't stand it anymore. You ran out the door. Did you have the shed 400 metres from the house? Couldn't stand it anymore.
No.
Anyway, sometimes I wish the crowd would just go along with it, just enjoy it, you know what I mean? Like you. You are like an idiot savant, but you're here. It's not like a show that you've come to, it's something else. But it doesn't matter. It's the mortuary or something. It's like you're sitting shiver in the front row. That's all you need at a comedy gig. Look at the boys there, don't know what's going on. Can't wait to get a beer and go, fucking sport. Walk around, fish shop, punch your copper or something, drive the car into a tree. Because what a great culture we've created. Because when the white man arrived here and stole everything from the Aboriginals, they gave us all these things like alcohol and gambling, and I think they should apologise to us now for the damage they've done to the white people. I'd love to see an Aboriginal elder like Mundawa Yunupingu stand up and say, I'm very sorry for the damage we've done to the Czech backpack. It was a decent veteran in the country. I was a gambler, out of control drinker, lost all his money on the pokies. All because you came here. I've got a very close Aboriginal mate who's an architect who built Ayers Rock, and he said to me, it was hollow at that time. They'd captured this Seventh-day Adventist girl, Azaria, and they'd put her in there. And they'd kept her there, and with a bit of help from some Austrian who'd kept his daughter hidden in the house for years. And anyway, it's another Austrian dear. The maid was so ugly, but I had to interfere with her. Anyway, that was a quick one. Are you enjoying the show so far? You really love it, do you? Great. And is that the boyfriend? It's a husband. And how long have you been together? 9 years. Let's get him. It's enough. But are you still sort of orally thing, or you are? Yeah. Anyway, but most of the time that wears off after a couple of weeks because he couldn't be bothered looking in there anymore. You know that. You've been married 40 years. Am I going too far? I don't know, but sometimes I'll go a little bit too far with the show because the Chinese writers are saying, doesn't matter, push the envelope. Push it right to the edge, doesn't matter. The crowd can handle that. On the surface, the people go, what's she doing all that sexual stuff for? But underneath, people go, yeah, I understand. I wish I had something going on somewhere there. Like you probably wish you had another lover somewhere else. Could be me. Have you looked into the Jew thing at all? Anyway,